the channel. Today we're playing Door Kickers 2. This is just a game that I love, and with the announcement of the 1.0 on February 10th, I believe it is, I'm really ramping it back up. I'm dropped Dynasty Warriors for a minute. I do have some videos in the pipeline from that, but I'm going to be looking at Door Kickers 2 predominantly now, I think, up until and into the 1.0 release. So I'm going to be hitting it hard, improving my tactics and strategies ready, and then putting them to the test in the release. I'm excited to share it with you, and I hope you're excited to see it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love this game. Sure, it does have some flaws, but it's addictive, and it's fun, and it's all about trying to get better, improving your times, doing it with less men, doing it with one man, doing the whole planning stage, and then just letting it go and seeing what happens. It's exciting. There's all things that I'm going to be looking at. So, as we get into this mission, we've got one of the set game missions. It's nothing special about it. It's just a hostage rescue mission. I think I may have played this one before, but I can't really remember it. I remember this short timer that we'll go through in a minute, but that's about it. So I'm going to run it back, see if I do better than the time I've previously set last time I played it. And yeah, just plan it out, strategize. Try not to go guns blazing too much, though I am going to be blowing some holes in walls, I imagine, looking at the map. Just a little side note, I am using the MARSOC Raiders mod from Nexus mods, and I've edited the supply cost, so I could bring the 8-man deployment slots that are shown, but I'm only going to use the 4-man recommended team, just to, make it a bit more challenging rather than realistic, because I think hitting any objective where you're guaranteed to have probably a considerable amount of hostiles with 4 men is insane. You would have, you'd probably have 3 strike teams and then a full cordon around the outside. So, hitting this with 2-man teams is insane in a real world scenario, but in a game, it's cool. As I said, we're in countryside Jackpot. The briefing is city folk just don't get it. People who live out here love the peace and quiet of the open fields and sparse neighbours. This also makes it an attractive hideout for those up to no good. We have discovered a jihadi propaganda cell operating out of a remote farmhouse in the countryside. They have hostages on the premises. They are intent on executing. Rescue the hostages or neutralise all the enemies. Currently, the jihadis are unaware of our rescue attempt. Leverage this to capitalise on surprise. The almost textbook corner and centre-fed rooms make this a walk in the park cornfield. So, centre-fed rooms here, I'd say technically centre-fed. There is a breach in this wall here. So yeah, they're right, it is all pretty much centre-fed, which gives us good strategic value when breaching into these rooms. The only objectives we've got are the hostages, rescue and eliminate all terrorists. The layout, the terrain to the west, we'll work west to east. We do have a path here that leads up to a dead end, so I'm not worried about infill of reinforcements for the enemy. It also means we're not going to get reinforcements. We have a courtyard, single access courtyard from our point of view, where we have 1 insurgent, 2 hostages being filmed by this camera here. There are a few dead spots running down the very western flank, covered by a fence that may pose an issue because there's sandbags here and here, which may mean could be someone stood here and stood here. I don't remember. If they're not expecting us, I would assume they're not in any form of defensive position, but there may be spectators to this here execution. Moving in slightly, we have this L-shaped room with fortified positions and weapons inside. No bedding or anything, no living accommodation. This is purely a fighting position. I think the idea is people are funneled through here because this wall is blocked off. So this here and this here could be a really hot zone, just filled with enemies, easily reinforced from this door here. So I'm expecting probably more of this and then falling back into here behind this sandbag if they need to. We have in the center, moving over to the east, a large compound with one entrance here. That one room then feeds into a courtyard, which then feeds into a dining room by the looks of it, that has a single door that leads outside to where the other hostages are, and also leads down into a bedding area by the looks of it. This single entrance into a courtyard on the eastern side where the other two hostages are. I say other two, there may be more. There could be more down here waiting to be executed, or in this room here. This courtyard has one entrance. So we'll go, when I go through the team, I'll explain why I bring a certain item, because I feel like that needs more than one entrance. Other than down here, there's no signs of other weapons laying around in rooms, so I'm going to be assuming that the men are around with their weapons. As for the teams, we have two teams. Composition will be the same, so I'll just go through one. We have Turner and Casey, our red team. Over here on the east, Casey, the leader, has a Mark 17 CQC suppressed variant M9 pistol, 2 frag bangs, 2 slap charges, and 3 9-bangers. We have Casey, who's our grenadier, underslung grenade launcher and an M4A1, also suppressed, M9, 2 frags, 2 flash, a wall breach, which we'll be using to make an additional doorway into that courtyard. Eli and Omar are equipped the same. Don't feel the need to bring marksmans or anything like that, or breaching shotguns. I'm not seeing any locked doors. I could probably get rid of the slap charges, but they may come in handy on closed doors just to create a explosive entry if needs be. I'm going to assume there is not a civilian presence in this area, purely for the fact that they're here executing people. Anyone here is probably a target, and if we come across civilians, we'll just deal with that as and when. But at the moment, I'm just going to be assuming that everyone here is, a bad guy. As for escape routes, we have one escape route that I'm assuming is safe, down here denoted by the green box. That is where our hostages will need to get to if we don't eliminate all terrorists. That is a bit of a trek for these two here on the west, and they will be going through what I think is the kill house. That is our planning and looking stage. Sorry, not the planning stage. That is our looking stage done. This one looks a little bit cheeky. This 6-second timer is filling me with dread. That's a very long distance to get to in 6 seconds. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the eastern side first. Who has the wall charge? Casey has the wall charge. I want him placing that there. Once it's placed, I want him stepping out Let's try that again. Place that there, then step out to there. No, once it's there, step out to there. Get eyes on that. Right. Let's try. Ooh. Maybe. I will get this in a second. Maybe we try there, take him out. I want your man here. He needs to be watching straight down there, covering that arc. That, as soon as they hear that go off, they're going to be coming through here. Luckily, it's funneled, so it should be easy kill. I'll readjust yellow once that's set, so I'll keep an eye on that. I am worried about here being absolutely rammed with enemies. Hopefully they're all chilling out in here, ready to reinforce if need to be, so then there's not going to be a quantity of enemies here. I am going to take the risk. I am going to sprint to here. I'm going to get a 9-banger in on him. And then, yeah, we'll sprint. Purple's coming down. He is going to sprint as well, just because I don't think we've got enough time. And we're going to let that happen. We're going to pause. As soon as that banger goes off, the banger's off. Green, move in. Purple, move in. I think once you're there, you're going to cover that angle quickly, and then if he's dead, green will switch. Okay, no one in the courtyard. I think we need to switch. So while they're doing that, we're going to let these two just breathe, watching their arcs a second. There's no one else in the courtyard. They've got 2 entrances, this flimsy door and this entrance here and here. So they're just going to cover those. Green predominantly on the door, purple predominantly on the walkway. I feel like we're going to get some people running in. So we're going to just let them come for a minute. And we're just going to have him looking through the breach once it goes off. See, there's more coming in and more. I'm going to blow it. Want him watching there. Step out. Right. We have... This flank is safe. There's our vehicle. This flank covered. We have this covered and this covered. And the hostages here are safe. These two are not. I'm going to let this breathe for a second. They are relatively safe. This door could open and they could die. But if we move in... Actually, I'm going to have him switch, just watching that corner, that door and that window. He's going to come in there and hopefully watch door and window. Then that's covered. The rear will be covered. Front will be covered. We'll have a better defense of those hostages. I think what we're going to do now is purple's going to move just to here. Green's going to move to here. We are going to take that off. We are going to kick that door and we're going to take off, go silent. Nice. Purple is going to look long into the room. We're going to switch over to this side. Right, that room is clear. Green's pushing in, looking down. Purple's pushing in, looking. Yeah, he can't see. look into that window. Right, keeping this calm. For a second, they're just going to hold on the western flank, covering these windows, this door, while these guys are going to move around. And then once this room here is clear, we're going to move out here, clear this, stack up on this door, and then we'll do a double entry, I think, and to clear this building if needs be. So I'm going to purple step out slightly, green step down, switch, fire to the door. I don't want to be crossing, so I'm going to have him move across there, him move across there. We are going to look long and try and clear this walkway just for a second. Yep, one. He has taken cover. We are going to move back just so we don't get absolutely melted, and we're just going to frag him because why not? Switch fire back. He's going to cover that now. Just drop anyone that comes out of there. Have him move to this door. Switch angles, push this corner, we're going to cut it. Where did he come from? Was he hanging out in here? That was lucky we didn't get brassed in the back. Switch fire to the long. You follow up, keep eyes rear. How many? We got. Gonna get that out. He's gonna cut diagonally. Watching long. He's gonna come here, switch fire to that door, and then they're gonna push up smoothly. This walkway is now clear. These guys made sure of that. I was going to push up. I want him. Just do a quick check of that. Quick check of that. Green's going to come out. And then they're going to cut this room. Someone in the courtyard. That room is pretty much clear. So once that frag goes off, you have these two come in to corners of these room, and then these two are going to move up. He's going to move over there, continue to watch south. Oh, that is mission 3 stars. Clearly, if I have played this before, yeah, personal best, 54 seconds, so 10 seconds slower. I don't think it was too bad. Let's watch it back and see. If you've liked the video so far, please drop me a like, maybe a subscribe, leave a comment. I like to hear these things. I really enjoy making these videos. I really hope they get out there so some people can see. Anyone, I'm happy, however many views, as long as someone's enjoying my content. So, I'm going to turn off the markers. We're going to keep an outside view or a high bird's eye view. We may tilt it down slightly to give it a bit of perspective. And we're going to press play, and I'm going to shut up. I will see you in the next video. I've really enjoyed making this one.